Hello, hello, ni hao, ni hao. Let's go on a thorough tour of WeChat in 2024. WeChat is a Chinese super app with over 1.3 billion users, and it is probably the single most important mobile and social app in China. I've been using it since it came out in about 2011 as a regular user, and I've been using it to promote our clients because I run a marketing agency that helps clients do their marketing on WeChat and other platforms in China. So I understand it pretty well. Plus, I've studied Chinese for 25 years. I've worked as a translator and interpreter. I read Chinese and communicate in Chinese every day. So I have a pretty good understanding of Chinese, China, and WeChat. So let's get started by looking at the chat section. At its very core, WeChat is a chat app. When it started out in 2011, it looked a lot like Kik. I don't know if you know what that one is, but it was basically a direct clone of Kik. When anybody opens up their phone, they're first going to see this chat area that you can see here. It can also be accessed by clicking chats in the bottom left. And in here, you can see my chats. There's a few group chats that I've pinned up top, and below that, there are chats with individual people, and there are also chats with companies, as well as a subscriptions folder. That might be a lot to understand right now, but let's just take it bit by bit, okay? First of all, I'm going to open up this chat with Shane, okay? So Shane's a friend of mine in China. If you want to contact anybody you know in China, any Chinese person, usually they want to use WeChat. They don't want to use SMS. They don't want to use email, usually. Just by default, they want to use WeChat. That's how you keep in touch with people in China, okay? The chat function is fairly minimal, and it's done that way in purpose. For example, he doesn't receive a read receipt if I've checked my messages, and I don't receive one for him. I also can't highlight this and add an emoji to it. There still are some things within the interface that I can do. I can send another message. I'm probably annoying him because I made a first take of this video earlier, but I'll say hello again, and I'll send that message. This button to the bottom left that looks like a sound icon, and I could hold to talk. Hello again. Sorry, Shane. I'm testing WeChat to make a video again. Okay, that will send him an audio message. One of the reasons that some people in China like to send these audio messages is because it's a bit harder to type Chinese than it is just to type English. For example, if I'm going to type Chinese in here, I should switch my input method to Chinese, and then I will type in Chinese pinyin, which are the English letters, and it will give me an option to select for the word. So I'm saying, ni hao means hello, ce, test, test, period, period. If I'm writing a long sentence in Chinese, it can be a bit harder. So sometimes people like to use the audio feature. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So I'll send that to him again. Now I can add emojis in here as well. There are emojis that come with WeChat, and there are stickers that you can get as well. You can make custom stickers or get them from other people. Next, the plus button on the side gives me more options for things that I can do. I can provide a photo or video to him from my album. I can use my camera. I can start a video or voice call, and video and voice call features are very popular on WeChat too. Just like I said, you don't use email or SMS so much with Chinese people. You also don't use Zoom or Google Meet as much with them. They would usually rather talk on a WeChat video call or voice call, or at least that's just the default mode of communication for them. I could leave him my location. I could use the voice input feature. This is a bit like what I showed you earlier, except this is going to take my voice and turn it into text. I could also share favorites with him. I could share a contact card of somebody else on WeChat. I could share files, I could share music, etc. The last basic chat feature I left to share with you is the red packet and the transfer. Transfer means that I can send him money because WeChat also has a wallet in it, and it's one of the most popular wallets in China. We'll get to that a bit more later on, okay? And I could send him a red packet. Now, the difference between the transfer and the red packet is there's two things. For one, the WeChat transfer can send a lot more. I believe it's 50,000 yuan right now, which is like 8,000 US dollars, something like that. And the red packet can only send a couple hundred yuan. Also, when a red packet is sent, it doesn't show how much is in the packet before a person opens it. So it mimics the experience of actually getting a red envelope, which is a common thing in Chinese culture for giving gifts. In Canada, where I'm from, on Christmas, kids get presents. But in China, on Chinese New Year's, they will receive red packets from their family members. also called red envelopes. I would send a Chinese packet, a red envelope, but I don't have any money in my account right now. Now let's take a look at how WeChat group chats are used and some of the key features about them. The first one up top here is called NMG, that's Nanjing Marketing Group, my company. We have 15 people in the group now, and it's mostly just people saying if they're going to work at home or if they're going to come into the office. Sometimes there's some memes or company events in there. In the bottom, I have the same options that I did in the individual chat. I can even send a red packet, and that would give people the option to grab it. Okay, somebody could grab it first, maybe, before the other ones do. While this group has 15 members, the group can be expanded to up to 500 members or even up to 1,000 members if the group is verified. Sinotrip is another company of mine. This is a peer-to-peer tour guide and travel website. And in this one, we have a whole bunch of different tour guides. There's 127 of them in here now, as well as a community manager. If somebody comes in here and starts spamming it, there isn't an option to just mute somebody for a little bit or do something else to punish them in a lighter way. You need to just boot them out. And because it's designed like this, people tend to actually behave pretty good in the group chats because they don't want to mess up and get kicked out. If I click on the three dots in the top right, I can see who's in the group. I could click plus to add people to the group or remove people. And then there are a lot of options in here, which I think are fairly standard. So maybe I don't need to describe them very much, but basically some of these options are letting me change the group, the description in it, or otherwise manage the group. Other things in here are letting me choose how the group is displayed to me and how I get notified about it, basically how noticeable it is on my phone. And I might minimize some of these in order to just not disturb myself. For example, I have this group and almost every group on my phone on mute. And one more thing I'll add is when it comes to meetings in China, people will often create a WeChat group chat and then within that chat, use the video call feature to start the meeting. Now let's take a look at official accounts on WeChat. These are very important for companies. In fact, if a company in China is going to do any kind of marketing, they are probably first going to create a WeChat official account. That's like the official page of them on the internet in the world. They'll do this before they create an account on Douyin or Weibo, and they'll do it probably before they create a website too. Here's one for Genie. Genie, the company that makes lifts. We worked with them recently for their marketing in China, so I know this one fairly well. When I clicked their icon, I got into the chat with them. Now, a minute ago, I wrote this message to them, hello testing. I did that by opening this keyboard down at the bottom, which is just like the chat feature for chatting with people, except it has fewer features. Okay. Now that I said hello testing, they sent me a message back. This is an automated message, which gives me some of their contact information and just basically information to keep the communication going. What's great about WeChat for consumers is that if I don't keep messaging them back, they can't keep messaging me. If I don't message them again soon, I think it's about 7 days, then they can't send me more custom messages like this. But they can still post these articles here. I will click the person icon on the top right, and this shows me their profile. It has their logo, their name, and a description. And down below, also I can check all their content. Right now it's on articles, but if I click channels, this will show me short video content that they created. And if I click services, this will give me a menu. This menu is available here on this page, and it's also available back here in the message area at the bottom. The menu can link to other web pages. It can also ask WeChat to share some content with me right here. For example, if I click the 联系我们, contact us, it will share with me a message with their contact information. If I go in here, let's check this, VR 看车. This looks like it's loading up another page for me. Okay, so this opened up a web page for me, and from here I could use this browser to move through any web page. This kind of WeChat official account is called a service account. They can post up to 4 posts per month, and a post could have 1 article in it, like these ones do, or it could have multiple articles in it. But there's also another kind of official account. Let's check it out. Back here in the chat area, there is a subscriptions folder. I'll click that, and in here I can see articles posted by other subscription official accounts that I am following. Now, subscription official accounts do not have all of the options that a service account does, but they can post more content. They can post once per day instead of just 4 times per month. The content that they create, it can be in the same format as the service accounts. That means they can add in here text, images, videos within the page. There's also a feature to listen to this article instead of reading it. This is automatically generated by WeChat. Let's check the friend feed next. If I click Discover and then Moments, it takes me into a place where I can see content that my friends on WeChat have shared recently. Each piece of content will have an image or multiple images or a video or a shared post within it, and it can also have text. I could also add a comment or a like to it. These comments are not totally public. So I'll add one here. I'll say, "Hi, Echo, just testing something," and send. Now, who's going to see this comment? Not everybody on the internet is going to see this comment. Echo can see it. I can see it. People that are friends with both Echo and me can also see the comment. So it's kind of semi-private. It's possible to post up to 9 images in a post like this. What would you be seeing on your Facebook feed over and over again after scrolling through about 50 things already? Scrolling through 50 things on Facebook, you probably see about 12 ads already. I don't think I noticed one ad right now. And WeChat Moments will show me up to 2 ads per day only, which is very, very low. Another interesting thing about this feed is that it's chronological. It's not being adjusted for the algorithm. It's not trying to show me something that it thinks is the most engaging for me. That means it's very easy for me to actually find updates about the people that I am friends with. So let's say this person here, China Guide, is posting too much promotional content, or I'm just bored or offended by it or whatever. I could click his profile and then click privacy, and this will give me some options to tone things down. For example, I could make it so I only chat with him and we're not sharing moments and other things together, or I could hide his posts so I don't see them, or I could hide my posts so he doesn't see my posts. Let's take a look at QR codes now. QR codes took off in China before they took off in the rest of the world, and they are used everywhere. Now, if you see any ad outside in China, it's going to have a QR code on it, maybe more than one. If there's just the one QR code, it's implied that it's for WeChat. So people will know if, for example, if you are selling pizza and you have a deal on there, they will know to click this plus on the top right, click scan, and then that gives them the option to scan, okay? And check the QR code. The QR code can lead them to an official account or to other features within WeChat. Also, if you meet somebody in China and want to become friends on WeChat, you could scan their QR code or they could scan yours. To get my QR code, I'll click on the me on bottom right, and then I'll click this kind of square thing up there, and then I can access my QR code. And then boom, I can give this to the new person that I want to stay in contact with. Now let's check out something really cool called WeChat Pay. If I click on me and then services, I can see on the top my wallet balance is 0 yuan because I'm not in China right now, but if I was in China, I would probably have some money in my WeChat Pay or my Alipay. WeChat Pay and Alipay are the 2 payment methods that are used ubiquitously across all physical stores in China. For example, if a woman is selling steamed buns on the street, she'll also be charging WeChat Pay and Alipay most likely. You can use them for larger transactions as well. I think the limit for payments right now is 50,000 yuan on both of them. Let's click the wallet area. And here again, I can see my balance and I can see what cards are connected because bank cards and credit cards can also be connected. And that allows me to easily move money from those cards to WeChat or vice versa. There's also some other options which maybe are not used by everybody, but say WeChat Pay score. If I have a better score, this can offer me some benefits, consumer protection, my ID, and advanced and my payment settings too. Now, if I click the money thing, now this is going to give me a warning first, but I click got it. Now it shows the payment code. This is the code that those other people that are charging me could scan. It works very fast, okay? And down below, there are some more features. I can choose to pay my card. I can use this wealth area for investing, like the money that I have in my WeChat wallet can earn more money for me, basically. I can top up my mobile phone. I can get QQ coins. QQ coins are used for games and such. I can pay public services, utilities. I can book rails and flights. I can book hotels, etc. Although these things are here in this area, there are also mini programs, and we're going to move on to mini programs next. Let's check out one of these mini programs or mini apps right here from the services area. If I click ride hailing, it's going to open up Didi for me. This is a lot like Uber. I'd be able to enter my destination and then find a car easily. If I was in a Chinese city right now, there would be lots of cars available and this would work well. So if I go back here, go to the Discover area, there is a mini programs option in the bottom. I click that and it will show me a bunch of mini programs that I have used before. One type of mini program that I often use when I'm in China is a restaurant mini program. Restaurants in China will often run loyalty programs through WeChat. So that means they'll create a mini program, and then when you sign up on there, you'll probably get some kind of a bonus. The mini programs come by various different designs. They're quite flexible, and on the plus side, that means the people that design the mini programs can do what they want with it. But there is a drawback, which is sometimes the interfaces are kind of clunky and it's not that easy to use. Still, for restaurants, I really feel the value of a mini program because for me as a user, I wouldn't want to download a separate app for every restaurant that I often go to, but I would be willing to install that mini program. Now let's check out the short videos on WeChat. In the Discover area, if I click Channels, it's going to show me short videos. This is just like TikTok or Instagram Reels. A thumbs up is more for showing support to the creator and also for adjusting my own algorithm, okay? But the heart does that, but it will also show publicly that I gave this video a heart. In Chinese culture, or maybe in any culture, people don't always want to reveal what they like publicly on the internet. Let's keep flipping through the content to do a vibe check on what is here. Keep in mind that this is my personal feed though. More cute animals. Cute women, of course. There's educational content. This is a guy that I like. He teaches English. And I just like his style, so I follow him. Businesses use WeChat channels too. If they are using it to promote themselves, there better be something that is interesting about the content. Stuff that is just purely promotional and doesn't have any entertainment or education value is not going to go far. Both educational and entertaining, they can go quite a far way on WeChat channels and reach a lot of people. Note that also if this business is posting short video content on WeChat channels, then they might as well post it to other places like Douyin, Chinese TikTok, Xiaohongshu, like Bilibili, etc. So that's about it for WeChat channels. Let me just share a couple more minor features on here. The search feature on WeChat can be quite useful. The thing about the Chinese internet is that it is siloed. If content is posted on WeChat, it is possible to search on Baidu and you might find it on WeChat, but Baidu is also very likely not going to show you that content from WeChat. So if you want to find content on WeChat, you have better luck going directly into WeChat and then searching it. Here's a search for Edmonton. That's the city I'm in now. And it shows me an encyclopedia content. It will show me articles that are posted on WeChat, the short videos that are posted on WeChat too. It can also find content that people have posted in Moments, as well as give me additional ideas for searches, etc. It's really quite a useful feature. And also from a marketing point of view, search is important. If content that you post on WeChat is well optimized for search, people are going to find it in the future. There's also a people nearby and a shake function. People nearby is just going to show me people that are nearby that are willing to be seen by others. The shake function I've only seen used once in my life, effectively anyways. And how that worked was I was going downstairs with a coworker at the end of the day and it was raining and I saw him shaking his phone. And I said, "What are you doing? Why are you shaking your phone like that?" And he said, "I'm going to find a pretty girl right now." And I said, "Yeah, right. But then right away, a girl came up to him and he said, hey, could we walk outside together? I don't have an umbrella. And she said, sure. And they walked out together with an umbrella and he actually met a girl. So that's fantastic. That's the only time I've actually seen the shake function used. But that's one of the lesser used functions on WeChat that is still useful. So just to sum up, WeChat is an app that is used by a ton of people and it has a lot of great features within it. It tries to be this super everything app that everybody's on and everybody uses. For the most part, it succeeds at that. It really is used a tremendous amount by Chinese people. If you have some more questions about WeChat, please let me know in the comments. I'm glad to answer. See you later.